Hello everyone, welcome back. So, bit of a different update video tonight. Still do the normal Sunday night update on where we've got to with the Super Cheap Auto Falcon, but we've been getting a lot of questions come in, and as the page is growing, I'm finding it a little bit more difficult to keep up with them all. So I thought I'll do this video and just cover off a few things tonight. Obviously, we'll do the normal update that we do on Car 31. We've got a lot of people that have developed a really fond attachment to this car since we started this journey. So I certainly want to keep everyone updated on where we're at and what we found, and I guess what progress has been made over the last week or so. And we'll also answer the questions for everyone that's been asking about FTR3 and what the plans are for the new project as well. So first of all, I'll go through where we're at with Car 31. We've had some exciting developments recently, so I'll go through all that with you now. So you may recall last week we did a post about the engine numbers, and we've always been of the belief that the engine that's in this car is AJR 962, which is a period correct engine, but it's the sister engine to the one that was in the car originally when it was brand new. Now, we started to pull the engine apart and discovered that when we took the water pump off the front of the engine, there was another number stamped into the engine block, which was 965. And the original logbook of the car, when the car was brand new in 2000, it had 965 in the car. So it's actually the original engine block, which is really cool, because there wouldn't be too many supercars around now that are 20, 25 years old that would have the original engine block still in them. Obviously, over time, the engine's been replaced and rebuilt many times, and there would have been spare engines and all sorts of stuff thrown at it over the years. But to end up now with the original engine block in the car when we do this restoration, it really adds that big chunk of, I guess, period correctness and accuracy to it. So we're really excited about that. The cylinder heads that are on the car are off 962, which was a sister engine. I've had a lot of guys reach out and message us about that. These engines, early days, were really hard on cylinder heads. You know, if you had rocker failures or valve failures or whatever may happen, the cylinder heads were changed over quite regularly. So the 965 heads are most likely long gone, and they were changed over quite regularly. So we're really excited about that. As far as the engine itself goes, we've got what they call a bore scope, which you'll see here, and we've gone down inside the engine and had a really good look. Now, we did that after we'd done a compression test, so everything looked really good. The numbers were all equal across all the cylinders. We did a leak down test, everything came up really well. So we decided at this stage to leave the cylinder heads on the engine, and we'll just work with what we've got. That bore scope, we could look at everything inside, so cylinder walls, pistons, valve faces, everything come up really well. So we're going to replace a lot of the external stuff, which you'll see here. Obviously the cam belt you'll see there is quite sad, so that'll get changed. We've got the pulleys for the cam belt, which will get changed. We've got all the external oil pump belts. We've got new rockers. There's a lot to go on the car from a reliability standpoint, which we'll swap over. At this point, we're going to leave the pistons and rings and crank and everything in it, and we'll just work with what's there, but change over some of the items that are prone to fail once they get over their lifespan. So once the engine is all back in the car, we can then start to move forward, with a lot of the finishing touches. So you'll see here the front radiator support panel. It needs to be pulled out, repaired and painted. We just threw that in to, sit everything roughly where it needs to be. So that'll all come out when the engine goes in. That'll be painted. All the wiring needs to be redone. The coil's got to be refitted. There's just a lot of little jobs you can't really finish off properly until the engine's back in the car. A lot of the plumbing, same deal. Steering rack and everything, the plumbing for that needs to go back in, but you need the power steering pump, which is attached to the engine. So yeah, there's a lot that's, riding on getting this engine back and in the car. So we're really excited to get that back. We're pushing on really hard to get that finished so that can happen. One thing we have done that's, not in the engine bay, we've got the fuel fillers back in the car. So when the car was converted to a ride car, these were all deleted because it wasn't required. So we've got the fuel filler and vent now mounted up permanently to the quarter panel. So if we come around this side, you'll see that side's the filler or the vent, and this side here can be the filler or the vent. So I don't think it really matters how they're hooked up, but you just, the fuel filler goes in there, and that pushes down and lets the fuel in. So it's really good to have them done. Did it the hard way. Should have pre-drilled them before the car was painted. Didn't think of it, so had to fiddle around, make a template, and yeah, it took a fair bit of doing. And because when you drill them once, you want to make sure that you get them in the right spot the first time. So it's good to get that box ticked. That was a job that we were dreading. So yeah, it's basically now, once that engine gets back, we can then push on really hard, and hopefully it's a matter of days or weeks, not months. So hopefully we'll have some good news shortly on that one. So just to quickly answer some of the questions we've been getting about the new project. Obviously we'll be ripping into this shortly. Our main priority at the moment is to get car 31 to a point that it's running. There's still going to be a lot of work to do after that point, but we just want to get the engine back in it and get it back as a complete car before we go tearing anything else to bits, being this car. So there's going to be a lot of work to do on FTR3, all the cage work on the inside. Some of that needs to be, I guess, reverted back to what it was in 2000. It all needs to be painted on the inside. So where the Steve Ellery car was, a big enough job as it was to convert it back to an AU, this car is going to have that work done, plus the bar work and work to the cage as well. So it's going to be a far bigger job. So we just want to make sure that we do finish the Super Cheap Auto Falcon properly, that everything is absolutely perfect on this car, and then we'll start to rip into FTR3 and do, hopefully it comes up every bit as good as the Super Cheap Auto Falcon. So we'll keep you updated on what happens with this car. As you can see, literally we've taken the covers off it, we've told you about it. That's as far as we've got. As soon as there's action on this car, we'll share that with you, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the journey as much as I'm sure we will. So thanks again for your support. We'll push on, we'll keep in touch, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting updates for you shortly. So thank you.